Hello and welcome. My name is Francesca. Here at Teaching Mastery Academy, we know teaching digital courses like the back of our hand. I thought we'd start the training with a fun question. And the question is this: what is one activity or hobby that you tried but very quickly lost interest in? Have a think, why was that? Could it have been the fact that the hobby just took too much to understand or too much time to practice? Or was it too expensive? What was the reason why you lost interest so quickly in that interest or hobby? Because I want you to enter this training with the mindset of what are we doing in our courses currently that is making people switch off, and how is it that we can start to increase those course engagement rates? Do you ever feel like your students start your course excited but lose interest halfway through? The reality is, content alone is not enough. A great course doesn't just teach, it needs to engage. If your course doesn't actively involve students in their learning journey, they'll disengage and your completion rates will suffer. Even if students begin with enthusiasm, maintaining that momentum throughout the course can be a challenge. There are several factors contributing to this drop in engagement. The first one is passive learning. Passive learning is when students just simply watch the information or they read the information and that's it. There's no actual engagement techniques to get them to actively learn. This leads to low retention and boredom. The second factor is that there's a real lack of personalization in your course. Many courses just seem to have a one-size-fits-all approach without recognizing that different learners have different needs and different ways of absorbing the information. This lack of personalization alienates students who don't feel the course is relevant to them. And the third factor is isolation and lack of accountability. Learning in isolation when you're just by yourself with no one else around, you don't have the energy and the vibes of the room, can be tough. Without a sense of community or accountability, students lose motivation. They don't feel like they're part of something bigger or that anyone will notice them if they don't finish. So why does engagement matter? Well, I've got 4 reasons for you. Better learning. Engagement is the key driver behind student success in digital courses. Keeping students actively involved leads to better learning outcomes, higher course completion rates, increased student satisfaction, and more referrals and course sales. In fact, the impact of engagement on your digital course is huge. It has positive knock-on effects in all areas of your course creation, from the course completion rate to student satisfaction to customer referrals to revenue growth. In fact, courses with high engagement rates saw an increase of over 70% in their student referrals. Satisfied students refer others and often come back for more. And high engagement not only enhances learning outcomes, but it directly impacts your bottom line. Facebook and social media advertising is expensive, right? And it's only going to get more expensive as time goes on. Remember, it's not just about content. When you see high engagement rates, everything about your course thrives. It's like turning the lights on in a dark room. Everything comes to life. So let's look at the 3 key engagement techniques to boost course completion rates. These are techniques that you can implement today to keep your students motivated, and the first one is interactive learning. Okay, so here is a problem that will affect everybody with a digital course, because in some shape or form, whether we do PowerPoint slides or whether we do video, you will have a video that your students watch of you talking into the camera or of you presenting your slides, similar to this webinar today. But it doesn't hold students' attention. The challenge is when students are just passively watching the information, they're more likely to lose interest quickly or miss some key points or get distracted. The solution is to incorporate interactive elements like quizzes that assess knowledge retention, polls to get feedback or gauge understanding, or worksheets or activities that break up the lesson and reinforce learning. So to keep your attention, I've got a wee quiz for you. You ready? Why is interactive learning important in online courses? A, it helps students pass time. B, it increases student engagement and retention. Or C, it makes the course longer. Or D, it helps course creators avoid creating content. And are you ready for the answer? The correct answer is B. It increases student engagement and retention. Did you see what I did there? This is an evergreen webinar, meaning I've pre-recorded it and you're watching it in your own time. But I've still engaged with you because I've asked you to participate in this quiz. Now, how did you feel when you got the answer right? Or did you get the answer wrong? Either way, I caught your attention, even just for a second. So why interactive learning works? Well, you get that engagement boost. Quizzes and polls increase focus and retention by requiring active participation. And you look at the completion rates. Courses with interactive learning elements see a 30% higher completion rate on average. Oh, that reminds me, I've got one more quiz at the end of this webinar to test how much you remembered. Let's move on and look at technique number 2, personalization. The problem that we all face, the one-size-fits-all content alienates some students. The challenge that we face as course creators is that all our students have different needs, different learning styles. Content that doesn't adapt to them and their needs can leave them feeling alienated. So what do we do about it? Well, the solution is to offer flexible learning paths by using mini assessments that direct students to the content that they need, and by offering a choose your own path style lessons where students can dive deeper into the areas of interest or skip what they've mastered. We call this scaffolding in the teaching world, and it's all about scaffolding that learning around the learner. So, for example, with this webinar, after this webinar is over, I will be sending a workbook that covers everything that we talked about. It's just a summary as a way of saying thank you for attending, so that you've got a permanent reminder or a permanent record of notes about all these strategies. Now, that means that I'm catering to those of you out there who learn best by the written word. In other words, they need notes where you need to be able to see it on paper to be able to digest the information rather than listen to it in a webinar. So that's a way that I am catering to more than one specific area of the market. Now, if you are better at learning through auditory, like listening rather than watching, then you might be listening to it while you're doing other things in the background, almost like a podcast or a radio, and that's fine too. That's another way of learning. It's the auditory way of learning. So it's about scaffolding and adapting your learning strategies to your students and your audience. Now, this has come directly from Teaching Mastery Academy, where we go deep into learning what the different learning styles are and the different needs that we have with our students, and being able to come up with engagement techniques and strategies so that every student who takes our courses feels nourished, feels supported, feels listened to, and feels like they are achieving something. Why does personalization drive engagement? Well, students feel empowered. By giving students control over their learning path, it increases their motivation and investment into the process. And it also leads to higher satisfaction. So personalization leads to a 20% boost in student satisfaction because learners feel seen and supported. Now, personalization strategies might seem overwhelming to you, but don't worry, we have a whole module inside of Teaching Mastery Academy that teaches you all about personalization and being able to come up with really clever and really easy, cost-effective ways in your digital course that you can personalize the learning journey for every single one of your students. And finally, let's look at technique number 3, community and accountability. This is a really common problem too, is that feeling of accountability and being in a community, even if you're doing a course on your own in your own time. How do we begin to build that community, especially if we're offering evergreen courses or courses where we might not necessarily be there teaching content live? Being online can be lonely, and without a support network or accountability, it's easy for students to fall off track. So the solution is to build an engaged community and provide accountability by you can create group challenges that foster camaraderie and competition. You could host live check-ins where students can ask questions and share progress like a Q&A. And you can encourage discussions through forums or private groups where students can connect with each other. Once again, building a community doesn't have to be scary. And in Teaching Mastery Academy, we teach you a whole range of different ways that you can build a community based on your comfort level and your own niche and your own course and what you're offering. It's not all about having live interactive elements either. It's about setting up really clever, efficient systems so that you don't burn out in the process. So why does community and accountability work? Well, it's that social motivation. Students are more likely to stay engaged when they feel part of the community. Discussion forums, challenges, and live check-ins provide the social interaction and support that are very important students need. And it means also that the completion and the retention of your course skyrockets. Courses with active communities see a 50% higher completion rate and more engaged students throughout the process. With Teaching Mastery Academy, we foster community the right way. You'll be able to join a community of course creators, and you can contribute or be nourished and be supported by the community in your own time at your own pace. There's nothing pressured, there's nothing forced, and it's all about feeling like you're not alone and you have got a team behind you that are ready to support you all the way. I want you for a second to imagine the impact that you would have on your course by implementing these strategies. Are you doing all three? Are you doing only one, or are you doing none of them? Imagine the difference it would make if every student felt involved, supported, and eager to complete your course. And think about growing your business. Higher engagement means more satisfied students, better testimonials, and more referrals. I encourage you to try at least one of these engagement strategies today. Or if you're already doing one of the engagement strategies, then go for three, go for gold, try all of them, see how much your student retention increases as a result. Let's think about the engagement gap. What's missing? We've learned three powerful techniques today, but I've only just scratched the surface on how to implement them in your course. We've talked about interactive learning, personalization, and community and accountability. And these are three incredibly effective ways to boost engagement in your courses. But here's the truth. While these techniques are powerful, they only scratch the surface of what's possible when it comes to truly mastering student engagement. Remember, teaching strategies and teaching engagement it doesn't have to be a really time-consuming and expensive exercise. You don't have to go out and buy all this equipment that you then have to embed into your website or embed into your courses. Teaching strategies, especially around student engagement, if they come from you, they're intuitive. As teachers, we intuitively know when to put in a quiz or when to put in some kind of personalized strategy that our students will resonate with. And Teaching Mastery Academy will go deep into discovering how to do this with your courses and all the different ways that you can implement student engagement. But there are limits with these free techniques I've just given you. They're great starting points, but without a comprehensive engagement strategy, you'll hit a ceiling. You might still find yourself struggling with sporadic engagement. Some students are engaged, many still drop off. You might have difficulty scaling. Sure, adding quizzes or creating a community is helpful, but as your course grows, you need more than just these basic techniques to maintain your high engagement rates. And look, think about inconsistent results. You might see some improvement, but not the kind of transformative outcomes you're aiming for. Engagement strategies requires a complete system. It requires a complete overhaul of the way that you teach information and how your students interact and engage with the information that you're giving them. It starts from the very first interaction with your students before they even sign up for the course. It guides them through every module with carefully crafted touch points that keep them motivated. And it ensures they complete the course feeling empowered, excited, and ready to take action. I want you to think about your digital course now, and I want you to think about what's missing when it comes to your teaching. You need a step-by-step strategy for how to integrate all of these pieces together. You need the tools and templates that will save you time and ensure your engagement efforts are efficient and scalable. And you need a way to keep engagement high long after the course is complete, turning your students into loyal, repeat customers. You might be thinking, I've learned how to use quizzes or polls today, but how do I implement a whole system to keep my students engaged throughout the entire course? I'm already adding interactive elements in my course, but how do I ensure that I'm personalizing my course for every student's needs? How do I create an experience that feels relevant and value to every learner who's going through my course? I'm fostering a community at the moment, but I'm not seeing the participation that I was hoping for. How can I build a community where students are actively supporting each other and feeling accountable to finish my course? It's hard to build a really good course without burning out. How do I build an engagement system that scales with my business and keeps students coming back for more? I've got students enrolling, but I'm not sure if my teaching abilities are as good as what they need to be. How do I design lessons that are truly transforming to my students' needs? And I'm delivering on those transformations I promised. How do I ensure that my students are actively applying the techniques that I've taught them? You want to ensure that they're getting real results and not just going through the motions of completing your course. And these are all valid reasons, and they're very important concerns that we all have as course creators and teachers. We want the best for our students. We want to know that we are able to help them and that what we're doing is making a real impact for the better in their lives. So how do we know? How do we measure all of this? How do we find out and get that feedback? I believe that if you've been with us up to this point, you have what it takes to create a truly engaging standout course. I know that if you are still with me now in this part of the webinar, you stayed with me for this long, you've got what it takes to be an excellent teacher. Why? because you're hungry to learn. You want to know how to be able to deliver those transformations to your students. And this is something that you can get started on right now. These methods have been tested, refined, and proven to work for real people looking to teach effectively online. Course creators have used these exact principles to elevate their teaching, boost learner engagement, and deliver content that transforms lives. And you've already taken the first step by implementing these strategies in your own course. But here's the thing. If you're feeling overwhelmed, or you're feeling tired or burnt out, or just feeling like you're hitting a brick wall when it comes to creating your courses and knowing that they are delivering those transformations that you know is possible for your students, then don't worry, you're not alone. The real power comes from consistent action and deepening your understanding of what we've touched on today. Because some of the big benefits of becoming a confident course creator, you begin to see improved course outcomes. When you teach with confidence, your students will complete your course with the skills and transformation they signed up for, leading to higher satisfaction and success. You'll also see enhanced engagement strategies in your courses. Through this tutorial, you've mastered proven techniques to keep your learners invested, excited, and actively participating in your course, whether it's live or evergreen. And that only begins to build your confidence going forward the more you learn about engagement techniques and ways of keeping your students interested. You get increased confidence and clarity. You are empowered to design and deliver lessons that flow seamlessly, making complex topics easy to understand for your learners. And you get better at time management and course scalability. With the right teaching methods in place, you'll spend less time revisiting, revising, and fixing your course, allowing you to scale and reach more students with less effort. If there's one thing to take away, I have cracked the code and discovered the exact methods that any course creator can use to teach with confidence, engage their learners, and deliver impactful content that gets real results. So the obvious question is, how can you apply this system to help your course creation excel in delivery and boost your course completion rates? Well, you have a choice. You can do it the slow way through trial and error and taking what you've learned today and then trying to figure out how to expand and grow on that and drill down and really refine. Or you can do it the fast way. You can do it using Teaching Mastery Academy, where we teach you how to teach your digital course. I want you to think of Teaching Mastery Academy like your best friend, your go-to. You might already have some idea of how to market your course. You might have some idea of how to get your emails up and running and all of that side of things. But when it comes to actual course content creation and teaching, there is nothing better than having a best friend in your back pocket that is going to tell you how to teach your content, when to teach your content, what really great engaging content looks like, what to do, what not to do, and here are the templates to go ahead and do it with. So what do you get when the doors to Teaching Mastery Academy open to you? Well, you get my complete step-by-step Teaching Mastery program, designed to take you by the hand and guide you through mastering the art of teaching your course with confidence. No overwhelm, no confusion, just clear, actionable steps. It's the quickest and most effective way to transform your teaching style, engage your learners, and become the go-to educator in your niche. Have you ever dreamed of having a course that everybody can't wait to sign up and complete, that everybody is talking about, that everybody is raving about to their friends and their online communities? Well, with Teaching Mastery Academy, we will give you the building blocks of how to structure and teach your lessons so then it becomes a home-run course. You gain access to a step-by-step proven system designed to help you become a confident and engaging course creator, equipping you with the skills and strategies needed to teach effectively in the digital space. Inside Teaching Mastery Academy, you'll unlock everything that you need, lessons that flow seamlessly from one to the next, that builds gradually on the knowledge rather than just dumping it on your audience. You'll learn how to keep your learners engaged with strategies that spark motivation and participation. You gain access to a step-by-step proven system designed to help you become a confident and engaging course creator, equipping you with the skills and strategies needed to teach effectively in the digital space. Inside Teaching Mastery Academy, we go deep in everything related to teaching and how to create engaging lessons and engaging content for your student. You get step-by-step engagement systems. TMA provides you with a clear step-by-step framework for keeping students engaged throughout your entire course. We teach you how to create engagement touchpoints at every stage, from the first welcome email to the final lesson, so you don't have to figure it out on your own. We make personalization easy. TMA takes the guesswork out of personalization. You'll get access to simple tools and templates to create learning paths tailored to individual student needs. You'll learn how to easily implement quizzes, assessments, and flexible course structures that make each student's experience feel custom-made without the overwhelm. You learn how to build a thriving community without burning out. Inside TMA, you'll discover how to build an engaged community around your course without exhausting yourself. From setting up automated discussion prompts to creating a low-maintenance accountability system, you'll learn how to foster a community that thrives and motivates students to finish your course without you having to be online 24/7. Forget trying to figure out everything from scratch. TMA comes with plug-and-play templates for quizzes, personalized assessments, and community-building activities, so you can quickly implement engagement strategies without wasting hours on trial and error. And think about scaling with confidence. As your business grows, so does the complexity of managing student engagement. TMA shows you how to create a scalable system that keeps engagement high, even as your course offerings expand. We provide you with the tools and techniques to streamline everything, so you can focus on growing your business rather than getting bogged down in manual tasks. Imagine you're delivering your course with complete confidence, knowing that every lesson you teach is engaging, effective, and transforming your students' lives. Your students aren't just passively absorbing the information, they're actively engaging, hungry for more, can't wait to be able to log in and complete every lesson, every module until the end. And they're not just completing your courses, they're completing them with remarkable results, the transformations that you promised. No more struggling to figure out how to structure your lessons. No more guessing if your students are really understanding your material. With Teaching Mastery Academy, you'll have a proven roadmap to guide you every step of the way, giving you the tools to confidently teach, engage, and create a lasting impact with your courses. Imagine scaling your business, all the while helping your students achieve their goals, and you're feeling completely fulfilled in the process. In Teaching Mastery Academy, we have 9 modules of in-depth training that will transform you into the best teacher of your digital course in your niche. In Module 1, we look at creating engagement lead magnets to attract your ideal students. Because remember, engagement doesn't just start at the beginning of your course, it starts from the very first interaction that you have with your ideal student. So we go deep in understanding the purpose of a lead magnet right through to measuring the success of your lead magnets. Then in Module 2, we look at mastering the art of teaching. You get an introduction to how to become a teaching master. We look at teaching versus presenting, and we look at how to create a learner-centered environment. In Module 3, we look at how to understand how people learn. We look at learning styles, cognitive load, and retention and application. Then in Module 4, we look at structuring your course for success. We look at course framework design, learning objectives, and lesson flow and transitions. In Module 5, we look at crafting engaging learning experiences, interactive content, multimedia integration, and real-world application. In Module 6, we look at delivering effective and clear lessons, the power of storytelling, live teaching versus evergreen content, and overcoming teaching anxiety. In Module 7, we look at engaging your learners, building trust with your students, gamification techniques, and student motivation. In Module 8, we look at personalizing the learning journey, customizing feedback, peer-to-peer learning, automation for personalized learning. And then in Module 9, we look at assessing and improving course performance. We look at creating assessments, tracking student success, and iterating for improvement. As I promised you, we go deep in everything it takes to become an outstanding teacher, the type of teacher that will deliver real transformations to your students. I have been so blessed and I have been so privileged to have so many supportive educators around the world who have reviewed extensively my work and my digital products. I have been in this space now for 20 years. I know all the teaching techniques and all the teaching strategies that you need to implement standout courses. Sometimes future students wait to join and they end up spinning the wheels in the meantime and wasting a lot of time not really making a lot of progress. We want you to see results right away, and that starts with excellent teaching. Maybe you're sitting here thinking, I already have a course created. Do I really need this to help me with my course if it's already up and running? I hear you. Even if you've already got a course, Teaching Mastery Academy will help you enhance it and make it more engaging and effective. If you've noticed low completion rates or student engagement dropping off, This course will give you the tools to fix those problems. Plus, it teaches advanced techniques to help you scale your existing course and improve learner outcomes. How good is that? There's nothing better than having a course created and then having a fresh perspective to look over it to make sure that it's going to be the absolute standout knockout course in your niche. You might be sitting there thinking, will this really work for me? I totally get it. There's a lot of noise out there, and you want to know that this will work for your specific situation. That's why Teaching Mastery Academy isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. You'll learn adaptable strategies through the tools and templates provided, making sure the methods apply to your unique course and audience. Plus, the step-by-step nature of the course ensures you can take action at your own pace and see real, measurable results. You might be sitting there thinking, I've taken other courses before and they didn't work. What makes this course different? I understand the frustration. There are plenty of courses out there that leave you with more questions than answers. Teaching Mastery Academy is designed with practical application in mind. It's not just theory. Each module gives you a specific, actionable step to follow, along with templates and examples to ensure that you know exactly how to implement what you learn. Plus, the strategies that I teach have been proven in real-life situations with real course creators. Remember that I am a teacher teaching you my teaching strategies that I have honed and refined. You might be sitting there thinking, what if I don't know how to teach? Well, here's the cool thing. Teaching is a skill that anyone can learn. And that's exactly what Teaching Mastery Academy is all about. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced course creator, this program breaks down the art of teaching into easy to follow steps. You'll learn how to engage your students, create structured lessons, and deliver content confidently, even if you've never taught before. Teaching is a learned skill, and Teaching Mastery Academy is built specifically to teach you how to teach. No matter your starting point, you'll learn how to organize your thoughts, engage learners, and communicate effectively, whether you consider yourself a natural teacher or not. Teaching Mastery Academy has worked for course creators of all backgrounds and all niches, and it will work for your niche too. Why? Because I am teaching you the fundamentals of teaching. It is a universal skill. The skill to teach is within all of us, but it's the way that we teach our content, which is what will make or break our courses and is what will deliver the transformations to our students. I want you to think about how much it will cost you if you don't learn these skills: how to be a great teacher, how to teach your course confidently, how to teach in a way that will speak to all of your students, not just some of them. Struggling to create a course that delivers results, spending months or even years figuring out how to teach effectively on your own and losing potential students, all of these cost you time and money. Teaching Mastery Academy is an investment in creating a course that can scale, bring in revenue, and position you as the go-to expert in your field. Okay, now I did promise you one more quiz at the end of this webinar, and the final quiz is this. If your course was a superhero, what engagement technique would be its superpower? A. Quizzes that save the day from boredom. B. Polls that can read minds by instant feedback. C. Worksheets that help drill in super knowledge. Or D. All of the above. Have you got your answer? Okay, and the answer is D. All of the above. By creating variety and making sure that you have got a selection of engagement techniques sprinkled through your lessons and your courses, you are onto a home run course. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.